there everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. This month I want to talk about the exercise that's called Bird Dog. I've heard back in the day swimming legs as well. So I'm going to start off with a demonstration, and if you want to have a go as well, you get down onto your all fours position. So here we go. We've got the basic all fours setup, and then you're reaching your limbs in the air. I'm just going to do one more, so we've got the chance to work on both sides. So I think it's quite a misunderstood exercise because it looks like it's about the limbs, and it sort of half is, but you're using the limbs to challenge the stability of your trunk. So it's whether or not you can stay stable in here when you move the limbs. So I'll show you what it looks like when it goes a little bit awry. So you've got the same limbs, but this is the thing. It's the arching of the back, and the other thing is this, a tendency to lean. Actually, the lean, it tends to be away from the lifting leg. So because fundamentally we're challenging the ability to be stable, so call that trunk stability or core stability. So any movement there is a loss of stability. So I'm going to run through a few pointers on how you can refine your bird dog exercise. But first of all, I'm going to start with something that I wouldn't recommend, and that is to simply think about bracing or gripping through the abdominal wall. Bird dog is an interplay of the full body, and sort of tensing the abdominal wall isn't going to create the kind of stability you want. So try your best to resist the temptation to do that, but you are going to use the abdominal wall, but functionally as part of the exercise. So that's what not to do. Here's what to do. Well, the first thing is you do need fundamentally leg strength, and because you need leg strength in both legs to stabilize you when you lift one leg in the air. So what to do? Well, of course, more of the exercise will help to develop the stability, but there's loads of exercises that will kind of contribute to strength. An absolute classic would be glute bridge, and I'll post a clip of some classic glute exercise that will help you. Okay, so I'm just going to park that. You need more strength in the back of the legs and your bottom. And just to be a bit jargony there and said glutes, these are your glutes, the muscles of the buttocks and the backs of the legs. Staying with the legs, you also need to have the legs flexible. If you're tight in the front of the hip, then when you come up, this tightness gets in the way and you're more likely to arch the back. If you're tight in the back of the leg, these muscles here or here, then what will happen is you'll tend to sort of round a bit more like that. So the poor spine has to compensate for tightness. So how to stretch the front of the thigh. Loads of ways to do it, but here's one. Come up into this modified kneeling position. Keep the spine straight and move forward. So there's the stretch. Shall I turn around? This is a better way to show you, isn't it? So you've got a neutral spine. You move forward relative to the muscle, and the muscle stretch happens there. That's one way to stretch the front of that thigh. Don't allow your back to compensate. No spines. Another classic is a side-lying knee stretch. Although it's about the knee, if you pull the leg back and have the pelvis forward, you open the front of the thigh. Again, don't involve the spine. If it's the backs of the legs that are tight, one quick back leg stretch is you don't need a Dynaband for this. You can use a yoga strap or even a dressing gown belt. Have the leg relaxed and pull gently the leg up, and you meet that stretch in the back of the legs. Okay, timing, well, I would choose what's best for you. 10-15 seconds per stretch. Swap legs, maybe do it more than once. So we need to work on the strength in the bottom of the legs. We need to work on the flexibility of the thigh at the front and the back. The next thing is understanding how the pelvis determines the shape of your trunk. So come back into all fours and do an exercise called pelvic tilt, so that you feel how the pelvis makes the lower back move down and up. Because when you do bird dog, you need the pelvis spine to stay in the same place. This is what I mean about bracing the abs isn't enough. You need more than that. So generally, I find the helpful things are to think about when your pelvis is here, think about the tailbone staying in the same place relative to the body as you come up. Don't let the tailbone tuck under. But equally, you might find it easier to think about the pubic bone staying in the same position as the leg comes up. So you're trying to not let the pelvis move, if I can put it like that, and start to think, okay, pubic bone, the tailbone's actually the spine, but those bone places and knowing where those bones are can be quite helpful. And then you can think, I'm going to leave those bones in the right place when I move. So lastly, a couple of things in the upper body that will help. Well, the first thing is just check that you're really confident with your weight bearing through your wrists. So, and of course our poor wrists can affect this exercise because they can be quite vulnerable, can't they? So have your wrists under your shoulders, spread your fingers, press your knuckles to get a good base of support, and press through the hands to give you lift and energy through the shoulders, because boy are those shoulders going to have to work, because you're only going to have one on the floor. And the other thing, it's a small thing, but hey, every little helps, right? When you're moving the arm, just watch that you're not doing any kind of you know, like overarm, or, you know, is it front crawl in swimming? None of that. You'll turn your arm so the palm is facing in and come along and up rather than up and over. And so there you have it, your wrists, the arm position, the pelvis position, flexibility in your legs, strength in your legs, although that leg strength, that's a work in progress. This can still be a challenge, bird dog, even if you've worked on all those elements. If you want it a little bit easier, well, I demonstrated the thing that I do that makes it easier. I slide my limbs along and up rather than going straight in the air. It's like you're taxiing your limbs down a runway, and it just makes it a little bit easier. Another way to make it easy is just do the legs on their own. Honestly, that's super helpful and useful and worthwhile. And the final option for making life easier is to just lift the hand and the alternate knee. I work with this all the time with people. It's a really much more attemptable version of the exercise. So press the hand, one hand and the knee in to give you lift as you lift the other hand and knee. So there's yet another teaching point, actually, the sense of energy through the limbs on the floor. It's not just about the limbs you're lifting, it's about the ones remaining, giving you stability. So again, the stability is through the whole body, not just through the abdominal wall. So maybe try that with the full limb version. Press your hands to give you energy in your shoulders. Keep your skull and your chin tucked back and up, and feel that those limbs going into the floor as you've got the other two lifting up. Shall I quickly mention the breathing? Breathe out as you take the limbs away. I think that's plenty on bird dog, so I hope you found that useful, and cheerio. Hi there. I do hope you found this clip useful. We've got plenty more on the site, and for now I've suggested another one for you to watch. If you want to know more about what we do in Leeds, then do visit the website at pilates-leeds.com, and right now you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and we can do this all again next month. Cheerio!